And here's 7 Wonders Duel. Here it is, my friends, a very great game for 2 players. Hence the duel on here in 7 Wonders. That's how many maximum wonders you can build during the game. I'm just going to show you right off the bat here basically what's in the box before I go to a full setup here for you. But what is in this box? Got the nice rules. Gives you designer's names. These are the setups for the ages. There's several reminder cards in here, but these are this manual is done very well. Beautiful, great looking pages. Describes each thing in detail. Like here, it shows you about the wonders themselves, and I've been wondering about them wonders and what they do. And tells you the list of cards. Very good. Get a little help sheet, which is a double-sided, so each one of those sides is very helpful in the game. You get your military track on this board here, and that's where the military pawn will go at the beginning. And here's where your progress/science abilities will go. You know, you would set that up kind of above here, and you get this nice military pawn in here, and that will go right in the center, kind of like that. And during the game, if you draw certain cards, they have the military symbol on it. You will advance it towards your opponent for however many military symbols are on there. So that's kind of cool. Eventually, an instant win is if you can push it all the way to the opposing team's capital. But yeah, I really like this thing. Nice little military pawn there. Okay, you get a score sheet right here, which I don't really use those too often because I think it's pretty easy to calculate. Get another little reminder at your turn what you do. And on the back, once again, shows you the card structure for the 3 ages. These are the backs of the wonder cards, which are nice. And on the front, you have all these different wonders that do different things when you get to them. Like right here, this ability, once you construct this wonder, you'll get 3 gold. You can break 3 coins from your opponent. This symbol means you can take another turn, and that's the symbol for 3 victory points at the end of the game. But you only score those victory points if you have built this wonder. This one is great. One mausoleum allows you to go through the discard deck from the game. Very powerful, actually, once you build this wonder. And the cost for each of the wonders are built off to the side. This takes like a paper or papyrus, or however you say that, a couple of glass and a couple of bricks in the game. And that's worth 2 victory points. That lets you go through the discard pile and pick out a card and add it to your tableau, if you will. This one gives you an instant military, 3 victory points. Lets you break an opponent's brown resource card. This one lets you take another turn. You get 6 gold and 3 victory points. This one gives you 12 gold and another turn, which is nice. Each player actually starts with you know, they have a drafting system where one player takes a card, and then the other one picks 2 wonders, and then the third one picks a 4th wonder. Then you take another set of 4 wonders, and you do the same thing, but you start with the other player. And so you end up with these cool things. But only 7 out of the 8 wonders can be built. So if someone can build all their wonders, it will only be one of the players. Okay, this one is a military, break a gray resource card, and which means that your opponent has to discard it. And then you get 3 victory points for that. This one here gives you a choice. During each one of your turn, you can choose one of these as one of your, like this one says lumber, looks like brick and stone. So you can, and it's worth 4 victory points. So at the beginning of your turn, you can use this as a resource of one of these. So you can choose one off of this card, not all 3. But each turn, you could choose a new one if you so desire. This one lets you take another turn. It's worth 6 victory points. This one gives you another turn, 2 victory points, but it also gives you, from paper and glass, a choice of each turn. That's actually nice. I like the artwork on that one. I believe this one here, I'm trying to remember, I think this lets you go and pick one of the science tokens, or it might be for all 3. I'll have to look up that one again. I don't remember exactly right off the top of my head, but that's also worth 4 victory points. But anytime you can acquire science tokens, that's pretty pretty nice. Here, this one lets you move your military pawn, you know, 2 spaces towards your opponent, wherever you happen to be at, and it's also worth 3 victory points. This one is the pyramids. This one's just worth a nice solid 9 victory points at the end of the game. This one's worth 3 coins. Can break 3 coins. Oh, did we? Oh, we already did this one. So we went through the whole cycle. So that's all the wonder cards. was about to describe it to you again. I just like this game so much that that's what I wanted to do. These right here are the military token things here. As you move the military pawns, when you set it up, they will be set up kind of like right here. And 2 and 5, 2 and 5. Underneath there are victory points. And as you progress your pawn in the game towards your opponent, if you get into a zone where one of the tokens are, if you get into the zone where one of the tokens are, you'll discard that, and your opponent will have to discard whatever it says, like this one's 2 and the other one's 5. And at the end of the game, if someone hasn't won by military or science, if you get 6 science cards, you automatically win the game. I'm pretty sure, I think it's 6. It's been a while. I think it's kind of hard to win. I've only won once with military and once with science. No, I won a couple times with science, actually, because it's easy to get lost in that. And right here are the different science tokens. I may not remember what all these are, but I'll check on it between now and the setup here, so you'll know in the same video. But they do a lot of different things here. This is a nice one. I think I had this one last time. This one grants you 6 coins when you get this science card, and you also can take anytime urbanism. You can take anytime you use the chaining effect, which is instead of purchasing a card through resources to build it, it'll have a symbol from a previous card, and if you use that ability to build the next building, you also gain an additional 4 coins down over there. That's always nice. This one here is the economy. Has something to do with the resources. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember every single one of these. This one's here is just straight up gives you 6 coins and 4 victory points. Technology, I believe this one allows you to take another turn, but it's got the pyramid on it. I can't remember. I have to look up some of these here. This one's a straight up 7 victory points. That's for philosophy. This one deals with the military for tokens. I can't remember the law either. It's been a while since I've done some of these, but that's all right. They're just so beautiful. I need to get back in and play this a little bit more. Architecture. Looks like you probably don't have to pay 2 resources for your building a wonder, your next wonder. I'll look it up for sure, so I'm sorry. You can do comments down below if that's not what it is. But these science tokens are, you'll shuffle them up and you'll put 5 across the board up there. And those are really nice. And then you have the 3 age cards right here, the decks of cards, which you'll deal out in the certain patterns as shown in the each ages. Age 1, 2, and 3. And you'll put them out in that pattern, and the white cards are you do face up, and the other ones are face down. But blue cards are your buildings that are, well, they're all considered buildings in the game. But this is basically just straight up for your victory points in the game. And this is the theater. But the theater also has a trigger, so later on, if you see the building with this symbol on it, then you wouldn't have to pay the resources. This one moves a military pawn. This one produces resource, that produces glass. But this is the purchase cost to the bottom left of it. So that's like 1 coin to purchase that. 1 coin to have a lumber produced on your side. And if you need something that costs 2 lumber, you actually need 2 lumber symbols. If not, you can buy one from the bank for 2 coins, plus the number of symbols on brown or gray cards, which are these 2. It doesn't count against wonders or gold buildings. But so like if your opponent has 1 lumber symbol and you have 1 lumber symbol, but you need 2, normally you just pay 2 to the bank, but you'd have to actually pay 3 because your opponent, for each wood symbol that you would need beyond what you cannot produce that turn. These are science cards. And if you get a matching pair of science cards, that's when you get to pick up one of the science tokens that will be up there, which is really nice. More resources. Let's go ahead and get to that's nice. These chain abilities can be really mean in the game, especially when somebody goes heavy military or heavy science. Oh yeah, these are I call them gold, but technically the book says they're yellow. These are commerce buildings, and this changes the rules. It costs 3 to buy this one here. I think it's 3 to buy most of them. This one actually just gives you 4 coins when you buy it, and it has a chain effect. But this one here changes that rule for buying whatever you need. Like this one, you need brick and stone. So normally it would cost 2, but no matter what, even if your opponent has some, or even if they don't, Normally you have to pay 2 to the bank for every extra brick that you needed, but this just says straight up, for if you ever have to buy bricks, it's going to cost you 1 to the bank, period, and that's it, which is nice. And they have one for those 3 main resources there. But that's the Age 1 cards. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Age 2 cards. These are real nice. More of the buildings here. The artwork actually is outstanding. I mean, these cards are kind of small. I wish they were bigger. But like, you know, if you put them together, you almost have the size of an actual card if you turn them this way. But like this one here costs 2 lumber and 1 glass, but it's worth 5 victory points. Some of them in the Age 2 are a little bit better. It costs you 2 for that, but you get 2 stone. More science cards, and science cards have the chaining. Like right here is a chaining symbol, so if you happen to have gotten Age 1, the science card that had the chaining symbol up here, you wouldn't have to pay this resource cost. You would just pick up the card, which is really sweet. And there's one there, and there's one that gives you 1 chaining for the next age. So they kind of link together on a lot of these here. I just really love the artwork and the mechanics of this game. Wow, that one gives you 6 coins. So you always remove 3 in each age cards out of the deck, and look, they start bumping it up where on some of these are 1, but some of these cards are 2 military, so you can move it up 2 spots, which is pretty impressive. And there's like 3 cards in age that could do that. But you never know what cards are going to be there or not be there in each age. You'll know half of what might be there because when you flip up the ages, it shows you which cards are face up and face down. And then you do like a drafting technique, which I'll break it down, kind of show you how an age goes here in just a second. But I want to finish showing you what was in the box first. Okay, these are the guild cards. So the Age 3 has the same amount of cards as all the rest, but you'll also remove 3 cards, but you'll actually insert 3 of these darker, the purple ones here, the special guild cards. And they basically, the guild cards add a great scoring bonus at the end of the game. Some will, immediately get you some of this, but this will say, oh, you also get the victory points for it as well, which is nice there. Like this gives you for every commerce building, once you pick this up, once you build it, you get 1 gold coin for every commerce building you already have, and you get 1 victory point in the game for every yellow building that you have. And each one has a little one. That's one for science. This one says for every wonder you have constructed, it's 2 victory points. I mean, they're just really nice. They're kind of like, it can be like kickers at the end of the game that people didn't expect to throw you over. But here's some of the artwork and some of the stuff you can get in the 3rd age. This one costs 2 and 2. But this cost could be chained up earlier, so like you may not even have to pay that. But sometimes you get so many resources, or maybe your money's going so well, you don't even have to pay some of that. It's another science card, and like I said, I think it's 6 science victory. If you get 6 science progress tokens, which are the green ones /science, they give you instant win on that. I know I've mentioned it before, but I really do love the way these cards look and the artwork on them. Apologize if I'm not always straight center on the camera here. I find myself looking off over the camera to see the purest of some of the pictures here. The arena, look at that. That's a nice one there. Commerce building. You could build that with the chain if you had that earlier. And 3 victory points in the game. And also immediately you get 2 coins for every wonder you have currently built that. If you're the one that built all 4 of your wonders, that's 8 coins. And at the end of the game, coins are worth, every 3 coins that you have are worth 1 victory point. There's a triple military. There's some of these guys in here. Some doubles, another triple military building. Whew. Costs a lot to build on some of these, but man, they can be mean. There's one that's chained though. Costs nothing for that 2. And that's a 2 that doesn't cost anything but like 8 coins to do this. So you better, and sometimes you're playing a game and the way the cards are set up and what your opponent's choices are doing, you find yourself not able to have as much money as you think you do. But you can always discard a card instead of putting it into your tableau as a choice. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of show you the coins are all like right in here. This is what the 3 coin, they're all nice cardboard stock material there with their front and the back. I was actually playing a game one time and I was ramping so much money early on because I had so many commerce buildings. I was running out of coins, and I didn't see in the rules right off the bat where it said if I ran out of coins, what do I do? But so what I did was I just placed them face down like this, to represent doubles. So if I had, if I got another one of these, I would just flip it upside down, and that would be 12 instead of that. So, and you can do that with all the coins if you wanted to, I guess. But there might be a rule in the book that I did not see, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong if I did that. But here's the 1 point coins, or excuse me, worth 1 coin. But it's real nice. I'm gonna go ahead and set up the board of how it's kind of done, and I'll show you some more a little bit.